Yo, what is going on, everyone? GuidingLight here, back with another quick DMZ guide. And in this one, I'm going to show you guys how you can complete the entire infrared mission here in the DMZ. Now, in order to get started on this mission, you will need to go into the complex. But before going into the complex, if you guys want to make this mission a lot easier, find yourself a car battery and a jumper cable. Another thing you will need is an LR2 access key, so try to bring one of those in if you can before going in as well. In Al Mazrah. Now, before you guys go into the complex, I highly suggest that you guys get yourself a car battery and a jumper cable in Al Mazrah, and I will explain to you exactly why later on in this video once we get down into the complex. So as soon as you get into Al Mazrah, grab yourself a vehicle, grab yourself a car battery, and grab yourself a jumper cable, and then as fast as you can, make your way into the complex. Now, keep in mind, guys, once you get into the complex, you will actually have a brand new timer. So you have about 25 minutes that you can spend in Al Mazrah. So you can utilize that time to do other missions if you want to before going into the complex. But like I said, guys, just try to find a jumper cable and a car battery, and then head on into the complex. Now, it doesn't necessarily matter which entrance you go in through. However, if you go in through the Rohan oil entrance, you will already be in the section of the map where you need to be in order to reset the security system, which is the first step of this quest. So if you want to make things a little bit easier, just so that you don't have to backtrack into the Rohan oil entrance, you can simply go through Rohan and then upload the documents in here. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you go in through the Rohan oil entrance, in order to enter the chemical plant, you will need a car battery and a jumper cable. Now, I highly suggest that you do not use the car battery and the jumper cable, which you found in Al Mazrah. Instead, you want to find a second car battery and a second jumper cable. So realistically, in order to complete this mission, you will need two jumper cables and two car batteries. Keep in mind, though, that one car battery and one jumper cable will spawn inside of the complex. But like I said, guys, you're going to need two. And that's why before even coming in here, I suggest going to get a car battery and a jumper cable in Al Mazrah. And then you can find the second car battery and jumper cables inside of the Rohan oil entrance if you need to. Now, the reason I'm stressing these car batteries and jumper cables so much is because in order to open up some of the doors you will need open to complete this mission, you will need car batteries and jumper cables. Now, in order to complete the first step of this mission, you have to reset the security system. In order to do this, you will make your way through the Rohan oil entrance into this broadcasting room. Once you guys are in the broadcasting room, you will find a small tunnel on the right. I suggest coming this way because it will allow you guys to dodge the sentry gun, and then you won't have to waste your plates or anything like that. So I suggest coming through the right side. You'll also find night vision in here, which you will not necessarily need, but it's going to become a big help once you guys get into the chemical room. So come through this tunnel here. You will notice that there are a few level 3 enemies in here. Take those enemies out, and then you won't have to deal with the sentry gun. Now, once you guys have this room clear, you will find a upload panel on the right side. Now, once this upload panel has been activated, you will complete the first step of this quest. From here, we're going to continue to push through Rohan oil, and we're going to make our way into the chemical room. Now, once you guys get to this part of the external ops section, this is the room where you should be able to find your second car battery and your second set of jumper cables. So just like you would normally when coming through this entrance for any other reason, you will have to find a car battery and a jumper cable. Just as a reminder, though, you do not want to use the car battery or the jumper cables that you took in from Al Mazrah. Instead, find yourself a second car battery in this area and a second set of jumper cables. So I was the one that saved the one from Al Mazrah. I had my teammates pick up the other set. In order to open up this door, you will need a car battery and a jumper cable. So you can come over here and have the other teammate place the car battery and jumper cables inside of this panel. This will allow you guys to unlock this blast door and head on into the chemical room. Now, I'm sure you guys probably already know how to complete this part. So I put in the jumper cable. The reason I dropped the car battery was just so that it didn't glitch out and take it away from me when I went to put in the jumper cable. So at this point, you should, after you open up the blast door to the chemical room, you should still have one car battery and one jumper cable on you. So once you guys open up this door, head to the right. You're then going to make another right, immediately make a second right, and you will find yourself at a second blast door, which is actually locked. Now, this is the reason that I told you guys to bring in a second car battery and a second set of jumper cables. Otherwise, it's going to be almost impossible to find it. You'll be wasting time trying to find it. So you'll notice the door says it has no power on it. That is because you need to come over to a special panel on the left side of the door. This is where we're going to use our second set of jumper cables and our second car battery that I told you guys to pick up before even coming in here. So you'll notice that this door is labeled C2, and once you guys put in that car battery and jumper cable, it will unlock. So at the top of the door, you'll notice it says C2, and this is actually going to bring us into Alpha Cluster. So if you guys already know how to get into Alpha Cluster, just head on into Alpha Cluster after resetting the security system. So once you guys are in Alpha Cluster, there will be a few enemies, and there will also be a sentry gun you guys need to take out. So as soon as you open up the door, there's going to be a sentry gun here. I'm going to walk you guys through every single step so that there's absolutely no surprises when you come in here, because the last thing you need to do is be confused while also trying to complete the mission and having other players try to kill you at the same time. So I want to make sure that we go through every single step in detail. So make your way down this hallway. Now, once you guys get into the server room, this giant open server room, there will be a ton of enemies, but you want to head to the right. Once you get up these stairs, this is actually where you're going to find the locked cache. However, there will be 2 sentry guns and a ton of enemies, so I highly suggest you take these guys out. I actually kind of forgot they were there at first because I was so set on doing the mission. So simply take all of the enemies out, which you find up here, and also take out the 2 sentry guns so that you don't have to worry about them while also trying to complete this mission. So take your time here. Take out all the enemies, take out the 2 sentry guns, and then from there, we will be able to move on to the next step. Now, at this point, you will need your L2 restricted access key, and what you'll want to do is come over here, back up to the top of the stairs that we were at, go ahead and pop open this L2 door. That's how you're going to get in here. It's basically just have like a stronghold, but instead of a normal stronghold, it's just the strongholds that are in the complex. So it works the same as a stronghold keycard. Now, once you guys get in here, you will also find a few riot shielding enemies and as well as another sentry gun. So just clear out this little stronghold or this bunker, and then I will walk you guys through the next steps, exactly how it is you're going to find this locked cache and how it is you can actually go ahead and open it up. So from here, take out all of these enemies and make your way through this bunker. Now, once you guys have taken out all of the enemies, there's going to be 2 riot shield enemies and a few level 3s. You will be at this long hallway with the exfil at the end of the hallway. So take out these last few enemies, and then you will actually be ready to complete the rest of the mission. Now, if you notice here, you can come into this room here. This is the secured room, which will actually have the locked cache in it, and it will also have the secured lock as well. So there's going to be a supply crate here, but you'll notice that it's locked. It says cache is locked. This is the cache in order that you will need to open up. Now, keep in mind, guys, that if the cache is still locked after resetting the security system, that is because you will need to actually go back and reset it again. So you may notice that when you come into this room that there's a few wires, some laser wires, and there's also a security system that may go off. Now, if you happen to trip the alarm on accident, it will spawn a bunch of enemies in the other room that we came from. So just keep that in mind if you have to backtrack. So if you come into this room and it says the cache is still locked, then you will need to go and reset the security system once more, and I'll show you guys exactly how to get back there. Now, in order to get this cache to unlock, what you will need to do is first reset the security system, which you should have already done. Now, at this point, what you'll want to do is put your night vision goggles on when coming into this room, because you'll notice that there's a lot of tripwires that you actually can't see. So what you'll want to do is first come into this corner, then you actually have to jump over one of the lasers into the second corner over here by these lockers. From there, you'll want to go prone, and you can crawl over underneath the rest of these lasers. Now, if at any point in time you touch any of these lasers, the cache will lock, and you will have to backtrack and go reset the security system all over again. So if for whatever reason when you come in this room, the supply crate is locked, it's because you accidentally tripped one of those wires. But as you can see, I was able to unlock the cache and take the documents out which are required for this mission by simply following this path. Now, if for some reason the cache is still locked, guys, do not worry. I'll show you guys exactly how to reset the security system again and make sure that the cache does unlock. Now, keep in mind, guys, if you do not follow this exact path and you touch any of these wires at all, you will lock the box. And it may not even tell you that you have tripped the security system. So if at any point in time it says that the door is locked, that is why. It's because you accidentally touched one of these lasers. and you will need to go back and reset the security system. So this is the exact path you need to take in and out of the room in order to make sure that you do not trip that security system and lock up the cache. Now, if for some reason the cache is locked when you guys get in here, even though you've already reset the security system before coming in here, it's okay. All you have to do is simply go back to the security system and reset it. Now, it might sound like a pain, but it's really not that big of a deal because luckily enough, the security system reset is only like 30 seconds away from here if you follow this path. So have one teammate maybe stay behind if you want to keep secure of the door, and have maybe one teammate come with you back to the upload station. But either way, however you want to do it, just make sure that you guys go back to the upload station. Now, if you don't know how to get there, don't worry. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get there as soon as I grab this 3-plate. So come back out into this server room. Now, keep in mind, like I said earlier, if you have tripped the alarm, there's going to be a ton of enemies in this server room. So just be careful. Come up here, go up the stairs to the left, work your way down this hallway back into the chemical plant. Hopefully at this point, you guys know most of the names of these areas. So we're going to go back to the chemical plant now. Simply go back into chemical plant, and instead of making a right this time when you get to the blast door, simply make a left at the blast door. And then you're just going to continue to make 2 more lefts until you get back into the server room. So make a left again. Simply just keep making a left until you basically get to the second blast door. So that's what makes this so easy, is it's so close by. So now that we are back at the Rohan entrance, simply make your way back into here. It should say external ops at the top of your screen. Now, once you guys have cleared out some of the enemies that at this point most likely will have respawned, all you'll have to do is just simply go back up to that upload station. I'll show you guys exactly where it is again. So come into this room to the left, you'll find the upload station. Now, once you guys have put this back in the upload station, it will reset the security system and allow you guys to attempt to unlock the cache again. So once that system is reset, you will then want to make your way back into the alpha cluster, which is basically just that giant server room. I'll show you guys how to get back there though, just in case, because I know this map is a little confusing, especially if you haven't spent as much time in here as I have trying to memorize all the routes. So once the security system is reset again, what you'll then need to do is simply go back into that server room, which is also called alpha cluster. So we're going to simply go back through the external ops room and back through the blast doors once more into the chemical plant. So once you guys have gone through this blast door and made your way into chemical plant, make 2 more rights and you should be back in alpha cluster. So make 1 right, you'll see another hallway, make a 2nd right. Then you'll see a small left turn, but it will just bring you back to the blast door, which should bring you into alpha cluster. So once you guys are back in alpha cluster, we're going to go back up to that L2 restricted zone where the locked cache is. And this will allow you guys to attempt to unlock the box again. However, keep in mind, guys, those lasers will reset as well, and you want to follow that exact path that I showed you earlier in order to actually keep the cache unlocked long enough for you to unlock it. So every time that the cache has locked, you will need to go back to that upload station, reset the security system every single time. But you basically have an unlimited amount of attempts until the timer runs out to reset that security system as many times as you want. So at this point, you should be back in this room. Simply put those night vision goggles back on so you can see where these lasers are and follow this exact path. Come into this corner, jump to the lockers, go prone all the way to the chest. Don't touch any of the wires. Don't have any of your teammates come in here with you. Literally just have one guy come in here so that you don't trip up any of the wires. Now, once the cache is unlocked, make sure to grab the documents. And then from there, all you'll have to do is simply extract from the map, which you can do at the end of the hallway. So hopefully this video helps you guys out. I know it was a little bit of a long video, but I wanted to make sure that we covered every single step because this mission was a little weird. It took me like 3 hours to complete it just because one false move and you literally have to restart the whole mission. So hopefully this helps you guys out to make sure that you get it done in as little as like 15 minutes. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.